A water main break causes travel problems in Topeka. We have an update on the trouble spot. We'll steer you toward a site that can help you spot if something's a scam. A footnote from Guam. 1/190th leader's final deployment brings a special first. That's all in the family. Plus, the owners of a longtime Manhattan business ring up their final sale. And the story behind this close call for an Oklahoma police officer. Good evening. I'm Melissa Bruner.
And I'm Ralph Hipp. Welcome in. Well, a Topeka Highway interchange is back open here at the 10 o'clock hour tonight. However, there is a detour remaining as crews fix a water main break that shut it all down.
We are on your side with the update to this break. It happened around 4:30 this evening. The city tells us a contractor trenching under the street to replace a sewer line hit the water main. All ramps on and off I-70 at McVicker Avenue closed until water was shut off. Those reopened around 6:30, but McVicker remains closed completely tonight at First Street while repairs continue. Traffic must detour through the neighborhood. That is expected to continue for at least a week. People living in that area should be getting their water turned back on as we speak. City officials say to expect an organized approach to snow cleanup this winter. Public Works Director Doug Whitaker reviewed the plan tonight with City Council members. One change, rather than moving from primary to secondary and then to residential streets in major snow events, city plows will now clear the secondary and residential streets at the same time since they are so interconnected. Whitaker also said the city continues reviewing how to most efficiently clear the downtown area.
Crews were checking out a house fire after an attic fan overheated at the home in southeast Topeka. Topeka Fire got the call before 5 tonight of the fire at 3721 Southeast Howard Drive. Nobody was hurt here and no cause of the fire found so far. No damage to that residence. Lyon County authorities have identified the person who died in that Hartford house fire Sunday as 53-year-old Merle Willick. Willick was killed Sunday morning as his home at 209 West Maple Avenue in Hartford caught fire. The Lyon County Coroner's Office is still investigating his cause of death. The white supremacist who killed 3 people outside a couple of Johnson County Jewish sites formally sentenced to the death penalty today. Johnson County Judge Thomas Kelly Ryan imposing the death sentence on Frazier Glenn Miller. Miller said he wanted to kill as many Jewish people as he could as he opened fire on the 2 sites, a community center and an assisted living center in Overland Park in April of last year. None of his 3 victims was Jewish. Frazier Glenn Miller, who's from southwest Missouri, has chronic emphysema and says he doesn't think he has much longer to live. Body camera video captured an Oklahoma driver barreling down on a police officer there.
Stop! Stop!
Amazing video. This is in Sand Springs. Oklahoma Master Patrol Officer Matt Stacy had about 3 seconds to react to that driver that was behind the wheel of a stolen SUV, steering right at his cruiser. He fired his gun twice before impact. That suspect is 41-year-old Stacy Ann Bunsey and popped out of the vehicle's sunroof, said she was God, and told officers welcome to hell before she was tased in the chest. Bunsey is facing felony charges now, including assault and battery with a deadly weapon against a police officer.
A Topeka family hopes a very large public message helps bring justice for their loved one. We first told you last month about the Solis family's plan to use billboards to drum up new tips in the 2013 murder of Juan J.P. Solis. The first 2 billboards went up yesterday in Topeka. A third will be added in 2 weeks. In September 2013, 3 masked intruders entered the Solis home on Arter Avenue and shot and killed J.P. The family is offering a $20,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. Family and friends gathered today in Sharon Springs to say their final goodbyes to a teen who collapsed on the sidelines during a football game last week. The funeral for Luke Shem was held today at Wallace County High School. The 17-year-old ran to the sidelines and collapsed after scoring an extra point during a game last week. The stands in the gym were full today as Luke's mother and father honored their son. A fundraising page for the Shem family and a future Luke Shem scholarship has been set up. We posted that link for you at WIBW.com.
There was less confrontation with the moderators this time as another undercard and primetime presidential debate is just ending tonight. And there was more confrontation among the candidates this time. This is the 4th GOP debate focusing on the economy. Milwaukee Theater played host to all the candidates, with President Obama appealing to the U.S. Supreme Court to uphold his executive actions on immigration. Illegal immigrants was one topic, as John Kasich and Jeb Bush took on Donald Trump's assertion the U.S. could quickly ship out more than 11 million illegals.
We can't ship 11 million people out of this country
Children would be terrified, and it will not work.
I don't have to hear from this man. Believe me.
12 million illegal immigrants, to send them back, 500,000 a month, is just not possible. And it's not embracing American values. And it would tear communities apart.
And in comments on the economy, Governor Kasich says his tax reduction plan would keep U.S. companies in America instead of sending those jobs overseas. And on a $15 minimum wage, Senator Marco Rubio said tonight that would make American workers more expensive than machines.
We continue our salute to veterans this week with this final footnote from our recent trip to Guam with the Kansas National Guard. We all want family to be on our side, and that's a word we heard used time and time again to describe the 190th Air Refueling Wing, family. In the case of one Air National Guard leader who'll soon call it a career, it's family in more ways than one. The 190th Command Chief Master Sergeant Patrick Moore is about to open the door on a new chapter.
This is all I've done my whole adult life.
After 35 years of service, he'll retire in January.
This is kind of a bittersweet time for me.
But not before this one final deployment to Guam.
You know, I spent most of my career. Over 35 years, you get to go do a lot of things in a lot of places and get to do really rewarding work. Couldn't be more proud of the opportunities that I've had and to serve with such great people and to make a difference, to do great things around the world and to be part of a team.
As much as Chief Moore has done and seen, his final deployment is actually bringing a pretty special first. It is first time deploying with this particular mechanic, who also happens to be his son, Chris.
I thought it would be a good opportunity to spend some time together and to be here on his last one.
Staff Sergeant Chris Moore joined the 190th 7 years ago.
It was something that I felt like I should do because it was something I wanted to do, not necessarily something he wanted me to do, but it was something that we could do together and share a bond. It's something I've always looked forward to doing. He's somebody I've always looked up to, and I think it's just been something I was destined to do.
I couldn't be more proud of him, and it's great to have your children follow in your footsteps and something that you're so proud of and something that you believe in so strongly. So having him now do that and carry on and see what the future will hold for the unit and for him is pretty exciting.
And looking to the future, Chief Moore believes it's in good hands with his son and with all the other sons and daughters and brothers and sisters he's worked alongside over the years.
It's a huge family. It's our culture. I have been pretty blessed.
The sun setting on a distinguished career. Well, after seeing so much of the world, Chief Moore's plan after retirement is to sell pieces of it. He's starting a career in real estate. You can see all of the special reports from Chief Photojournalist Doug Brown and myself as we traveled on the 190th deployment to Guam. We've posted them at WIBW.com.
And it has been absolutely fabulous to see those. A new hotspot for veterans locally is open now on the Washburn campus, and we give you a look at that as we continue our salute to local veterans this special week.
Here's that.
Ahead of Veterans Day tomorrow, Washburn opened the doors of its Veteran Success Center, located at Mabee Library. The Success Center provides veterans here a place to study and some specific academic resources, and allows our area veterans to create some friendships and find support and camaraderie as they transition into the roles of students. The space will feature computers and study spaces and is decorated with banners representing each branch of the U.S. military. And a very happy 240th anniversary birthday to the Marine Corps today. And our best-known Marine in the state, Senator Pat Roberts, celebrated the anniversary a few days ago, actually, with a sword cake cutting in Washington, D.C. Pat Roberts remains our most senior Marine in the House or Senate and is founder of the Senate Marine Corps Caucus.
How can you spot a scam? A feature on the Better Business Bureau's website could help. Take a look. It is called Scam Tracker. The free tool lets you see where scams are happening in your area. You also can report and find details of others' experiences to know if you're all dealing with the same scammer.
Oftentimes, phishing type emails are looking for specific information like your social security number, your phone number, a credit card number sometimes.
Scams and frauds have been around forever, but with the advent of technology, they've exploded. And we're now using technology to catch the scammers and stop what they're doing.
Find a link to the Scam Tracker on WIBW.com. A locally owned business will see some changes soon. It's Pathfinder in Manhattan, Manhattan's only bike repair and outdoor equipment store. 13's Daniela Leon tells us what's happening after decades of service.
Billy and Irma Riley opened Pathfinder in 1975. After 40 years, they're ready to ring up their final sale to new owners.
We're really happy that it's going to stay as a family-owned business, as another family has owned it or has purchased it from St. Louis, Missouri, Lisa and Holly Hollenbeck, and they share the values that have kept us alive all these years.
Pathfinder has been in Lansdowne's family for most of her life, which makes saying goodbye difficult.
It's challenging. You know, the business has been part of my family, and my parents have been the lifeblood behind it for that whole time. And I'm still here for a little while, but I probably won't stay with the business for a long time because it's hard to stay with new ownership.
For years, Pathfinder has helped customers with outdoor equipment, but to its store manager, Pathfinder has helped him build a future.
Since it's the only job I've known for 36 years, it means everything to me. It's allowed me to raise my kids and put them through school and to have a great place to work in a great town, and it's just been a lot of fun.
Even though it's time to turn over a new leaf, Pathfinder's new owners have promised that staff and customer service will remain the same.
We're starting our next 40 years with new owners, but it'll stay the Pathfinder, and I'll stay here, and a lot of it will stay the same.
Daniela Leon, 13 News.
Daniela, thanks very much for that. We got a call in the newsroom this afternoon, a concerned viewer saying what appeared to be an injured bird was on the side of the road on the north side. So photojournalist Eric Ives went out to check on the story. And the hawk was on Highway 75 at Lower Silver Lake Road. So from there, we contacted the state's Department of Wildlife and Parks, but the hawk was gone by the time they arrived. Game warden Randall Bentman says it's not unusual that birds often stop to rest and their long marathon and their migration south or after a big meal, and that eagles might stay in one spot or two for 3 or 4 days. He adds it's best to leave the wildlife in the wild. Wow, that's a good shot there right on the highway. Is Highway 75 at Lower Silver Lake Road?
Not a very safe place for a bird to be, but they're going to want to be heading south because we are going to be feeling the chills soon. Jeremy Goodwin is keeping an eye on all of that in the Weather Center. And Jeremy, especially storm chances tomorrow. What's it looking like?
Yeah, he shouldn't hang out too long. Having those feathers out there and this breeze tomorrow would be rough. Here's what we have out there now. In northwest Kansas and eastern Colorado, that is a blizzard warning that begins at 3 a.m. late tonight, early tomorrow morning, with strong winds up to 60 miles per hour, 2 to 4 inches of snow. And we are looking at blizzard conditions developing late tonight. So if you had any plans to travel to northwest Kansas or know anybody that is or through there, certainly not recommending you travel that direction. The People's Insurance Group Road Risk Index, certainly red car for northwestern Kansas, would not head that way if you don't absolutely have to, and it may be impossible, as a matter of fact, by early tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow for northeast Kansas, we're looking at wind gusts of 35 to 45 miles per hour. Use extra caution if you are going to be in the roads here in northeast Kansas tomorrow. It will be windy. Even if we don't see a drop of rain, the wind is still going to be extremely strong. In the mid-50s and upper 50s right now. Capital Federal Live Storm Tracker, mostly clear sky so far and no rain or snow falling in our area. We're not expecting to see any sort of snow make it to northeast Kansas, but the clouds are streaming in from the south, and tomorrow we'll see the rain moving in, and it could be heavy at least for a little while. Here comes the heavy snow making its way into parts of Colorado. The stronger jet stream energy showing up right there in parts of New Mexico at this time, and the whole thing showing up well in the water vapor, a big counterclockwise swirl in the clouds and the moisture, and that is going to race out of the mountains and head our way tomorrow, bringing this chance of storms, and then the powerful winds will last much of the day. Here's the severe weather risk tomorrow. From 7 a.m. until about noon is the highest risk of seeing any sort of damaging wind or hail the size of quarters in our area. Could see tornadoes in Missouri or Iowa tomorrow as the storms develop more to the east. Here's 11 a.m. Still a chance of seeing some of the stronger, even severe storms anywhere east of this yellow dashed line. We'll see the winds shifting to the north, to the southwest, and then ultimately coming in from the north and northwest. So after 2 p.m., here comes the cold front, and it will bring very strong winds all afternoon and evening, likely gusting at 45 miles per hour at times. Could even see some gusts over 50 with this. A very powerful system, but notice there's not a whole lot of rain for the second half of the day. The rain chance is mostly in the morning, but the winds will be here, and then the cold arrives. We'll take this to 10 p.m. tomorrow, 24 hours from now. Wind chills in the 20s and 30s. Right now we have temperatures still in the 50s for most spots, but tomorrow at this time it will feel like winter, and then wind chills in the 20s by Thursday morning. Tonight will be in the 50s for lows at most locations, and then the storms tomorrow morning turning into a very windy afternoon, and then dry Thursday and Friday with high temperatures in the 50s, lows in the 30s, and close to freezing Thursday and Friday. This weekend looks nice, highs in the 60s, and then Monday and Tuesday more rain is possible.
A little bit down, a little bit up. Jeremy, thank you. Well, this is Tuesday night, Good Kids Night here on the News at 10. Tomorrow isn't really a holiday, but the grand finale of a big project that they've been working on, and I'll explain that for you next.
Also, the World Series champions now have some new hardware to go along with the title of the best in baseball. We'll fill you in later.
You're watching 13 News at 10 with Melissa Bruner and Ralph Hipp. 13 News, Kansas News Leader. You're watching 13 News, Kansas News Leader.
Veterans Day gives tonight's Good Kids a chance to do something special for our Kansans in the military.
And not only are Carter Gear, Taylor Heston, and Miley Pig great role model students in the classroom, they like to lend a helping hand to those in need. With Veterans Day coming up tomorrow, here they are. These third graders from West Indianola ran a donation drive for Topeka's VA hospital. With help from their classmates, they're making Veterans Day cards for the patients at the VA. When he was asked, what does Veterans Day mean to you? Taylor said, it makes me happy. My dad's a veteran. I like helping others, and it means a lot to me to do a donation drive to help the veterans that served our country. Taylor's holding his poster that he made advertising that VA donation drive. Why help the VA? We go to Carter for that answer. He said, it's the right thing to do. I like to help people. We got a pic of Carter adding donations to the box. And Miley says instead of them buying things themselves, our donation drive will give it to them for free. Miley's making a Veterans Day card for some of the folks at the VA. So Carter, Miley, and Taylor are in front of our Veterans Wall as our 13 News Good Kids for this week. We give them a quick pre-Veterans Day salute here on the News at 10 tonight. Any day is a good day to honor students who are doing something special if they're younger or on to the senior year of high school, and you can help us feature them here on the News at 10 by sending your nomination to me at ralph.hipp@wibw.com. Especially want to see from you districts outside the Topeka area, and you may want to try our Facebook page. That is WIBW Good Kids. Melissa, they plan to make their donation to the veterans there on Friday, so we hope to be there for that as well.
Fantastic
All
efforts.
Right. Coming up, how the Jayhawks were able to get past the Fort Hays State Tigers, and they've now wrapped up their exhibition part of the season.
We are also going to have a little bit more about 3 Kansas City Royals. They're adding some more gold to their resumes next in 13 Sports.
13 Sports with Chris Lilly.
Hello everyone, the Kansas City Royals, they've already won the Ultimate Hardware, the Commissioner's Trophy after winning the World Series, but the boys in blue aren't done racking in the awards quite yet. Alcides Escobar, Eric Hosmer, and Salvador Perez all are coming home with gold gloves. The 3 ties for the most in a year in club history. For Esky, it's his first Gold Glove award, and he becomes the first Royal to get it at shortstop. Hosmer earned his 3rd straight Gold Glove, and no first baseman has won it 3 straight years since Rafael Palmeiro in '97, '98, and '99. To top it off, Salvador Perez also got his 3rd straight Gold Glove. He led AL catchers in games played for the 2nd straight season. Salvi threw out 24 would-be base stealers. But the biggest shock to many Royals fans was that Alex Gordon did not win a Gold Glove at left field. Instead, Yoenis Cespedes did, who ended the season in the NL as a member of those New York Mets. The Kansas Jayhawks, still with some fine-tuning before the regular season starts, up against another MIAA team, the Fort Hays State Tigers. The last exhibition game, Allen Fieldhouse filled up and Bill Self ready to get going. And right away, KU works it around to Wayne Selden. He powers his way in for a bucket, not taking very long. Then Selden with the long 2, and he finds the bottom of the net, doing a little bit of everything for the Jayhawks. He finished with 11. Frank Mason hits his 3 to go up 10 on Fort Hays State. But the Tigers roaring back. Rob Davis puts the Jayhawks through the spin cycle, somehow just lays it right in. And it's just a 2-point game, but the Jayhawks too good. Devontae Graham buries the 3. Then with time running out in the first, the fast break offense work, and Perry Ellis with the slam to give the Jayhawks the 14-point halftime lead. And here's Ellis in the second. misses his first shot. Don't worry, he's got his own miss, goes back up. He won't miss twice as he gets the floater to fall. The Jayhawks, they win 95-59. Perry Ellis finished with 16 points. Svi had 15 points, and he was 5 from 8 from behind the arc. The Jayhawks open up the regular season against Northern Colorado on Friday night at Allen Fieldhouse. Also, the K-State Wildcats, they open up Friday against Maryland Eastern Shore. But the Baylor Bears, talking about football, they were able to take care of business against K-State last week, but the close win didn't impress the voters. The Bears stay at 6th in college football playoff rankings, and out of the playoff, Clemson is number 1, Alabama 2, Ohio State 3, and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish are 4th. Iowa is 5th. Oklahoma State, they move up to 8th, and OU at 12. The TCU Horned Frogs, they drop from 8th to 15th after losing to the Oklahoma State Cowboys. And Ralph and Melissa, as we get ready for the regular basketball season, the KU and K-State men and women's teams, they all went 2-0 in exhibition play.
Good to get in a mention of them. And Chris Lilly, thank you so much for the update tonight.
We're going to have an update from Jeremy on the storm chances that we're monitoring for tomorrow. Stay with us. That's coming up next.
This is your 13 weather forecast.
We have a chance of strong storms in the morning, then windy all day. Here's Supercast by tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. until about 11 a.m. or maybe noon. Some of these storms could be severe in that yellow circled area. And then the afternoon and evening, winds gusting 30 to 45 miles per hour expected much of the day. The best chance of rain is in the morning, but then we turn cold with wind chill values already in the lower 30s and upper 20s by 10 o'clock tomorrow. We'll be in the mid 20s for wind chills by Thursday morning.
Find out what brought a local congresswoman back to the Topeka area. We have that story on Lynn Jenkins on WIBW.com and our 13 News app. Trending tonight, what businesses are honoring veterans on Veterans Day tomorrow, that whole list for you. And on the Moms Everyday part of the page, we have some tips and tricks for fuss-free holiday entertaining. So find out how. It's all at WIBW.com.
We leave you tonight with a group of teens spreading the word of God and giving back. The teens are members of Camp Barnabas. It's a Christian nonprofit organization that meets the needs of children and adults with physical and mental challenges through a summer volunteer camp every year. Organizers tell us the teens who go on this trip to Purdy, Missouri in the summer discover a lot about themselves and in turn bring that positive energy back home. Tonight, the teens were gearing up and getting the word out about Camp Barnabas and what it has to offer during this meeting at the Classic Bean. Several of them did share their thoughts with us, and we have posted that for you on WIBW.com. You can hear what they had to say in their interviews about what Camp Barnabas means to them.
Wonderful. Melissa and I are both going to be on the Red Couch Show, on Northeast Kansas, tomorrow at 4:30 for our special Veterans Day show. Melissa, I'm looking forward to that.
All right, and we will see you. Stay tuned for the Late Show with Stephen Colbert next.
Have a good night.
Get the latest news, weather, and sports at WIBW.com or follow WIBW on Twitter, Facebook, and our mobile app. WIBW TV is proud to be named the 2015 Heartland Regional Emmy Award winner for Evening Newscast.